What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dash, coming back to Film Takes. Well, you guys, it's been a minute, but you know what it is. It's movie news time. It's been about a month since I did the last one. Been missing doing these. I do enjoy doing them for you. So you know what? I want to go ahead and jump into this one. This has a little bit of new information. You got some updates on some movie news, some release dates, things of that nature. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing I'm going to discuss has to do with Mortal Kombat. Now, I've been talking about that literally off and on for the last couple of months. I know that they just actually wrapped up the movie, I want to say about a month or so ago. I think Louis Tan had actually posted just, his feelings, about being a part of the movie, how happy he is and how happy he is, that it's completed. Sad that it's done, but is excited for us to see it. I know I'm excited. Now, I'm hearing that they bumped up the date. The date was originally around March of 2021, but now it's going to be January 15th, 2021. So basically, I feel like we're definitely going to get a little bit of something going into next year now. Now, that leaves it open. If I'm not mistaken, I said this before, that we might get to see something during Comic-Con. If not that particular San Diego one, we might get to see it during the New York Comic-Con, maybe in October. But since it's coming out in January now, that's when I thought they would do it then, because it'll be October and then we'll get something like a teaser and then an official trailer. But it looks like more so maybe around San Diego Comic-Con, and then we'll get the official trailer going to maybe like October, getting us hyped and ready for January for it to drop. I truly am excited to see this. Like I stated, I remember the game. Brother played the game. I enjoyed watching him play the game mostly because he was better at it than moi. And just watching every now and then, guys, the videos. I like watching the people's reactions to the videos of the different fatalities. I think this is hilarious. So it's not going to be so hilarious in the theater because they're going to try to keep it as close to as much of the bloodshed. They said they would not hold back. I think this is considered a rated R. I'm down for that. I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to, I've already named a couple of them that I'm looking forward to seeing. Of course, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Sonya Blade, just to name a few. I am beyond ready to see this. Now, I'm just going to post again some of the cast members from the Mortal Kombat, So, just got to get you all to get an idea of who's exactly is attached again. And that cast, like I said the first time, I am beyond hyped just from the cast alone, because I can already imagine what they're all going to bring towards this movie. So yes, I'm happy that they pushed up just a little bit. It's nothing wrong with that. Actually, it's awesome and I'm here for it. But like I said, I feel like we're going to get something late summer for sure, and then like going into the fall, late fall, we'll definitely get the official trailer. I'm praying if they do that, please let it be a decent teaser. If they showcase anything at a Comic-Con for that, whichever, and I'm hoping they do, because I want to see the panel. I want to see who is going to be a part of the panel. So fingers crossed for that. So I just want to kind of jump on that one, just kind of put that out there. That'll probably be it for a while talking about that, because I think, like I stated, I've been talking about it off and on for a lot of my different movie news as of lately. So hopefully that should be it. Now we have a revised date. We can just move along until we get, and I want to see what the poster is going to look like. It's going to look similar to, the logo enough, but they're going to change it a little bit too. So hopefully we'll get some information on that as well. So with that said, you guys, moving on. Now the next thing I want to discuss has to do with The Matrix 4. Now, I talked about this briefly, how I'm excited that we're getting, of course, 3 individuals who are coming back who are reprising their roles. We're going to get Neo, Trinity. Now I'm hearing Niobe, played by Jada Pinkett Smith, is coming out. I'm so happy. I was like, she better be. I know they were in discussion last time I discussed it, so now we do know she will be back. Don't hear anything about Lawrence Fishburne. I'm going to get into that. Now, I'm hearing some other casting. I already talked about Neil Patrick Harris, and I want to say Jessica, let me get her name correctly, Jessica Henwick. She's definitely a part of it. She's one of the main leads as well. We're getting some other names now that I didn't discuss prior that I'm going to go ahead and throw out that I'm familiar with them as well. We have Jonathan Groff. He's on the show Mindhunter, and I really need to finish watching that. Also, Toby Onwumiere. He's on a show I used to watch, until recently not come on since 8, and also he's a part of the character on the show Empire, like him as well. And then we have Yahya Abdul-Mateen. Now I'm totally a fan of him. Definitely feeling him when he did, of course, Black Manta and Aquaman. Feeling him for doing Watchmen. I will admit this. Do not judge me. I did watch Watchmen over the Christmas holiday. I had not been watching it, on a, as they say, weekly basis, and that was my fault. But there's nothing wrong with it. I binge watched the hell out of that in a day and a half, and I'm all caught up now. Happy about that. He did a phenomenal job in that particular series. Go him. And I'm happy to see him coming up in another movie, which will be Candyman. I'm looking forward to that next year, so definitely hyped. Now, he's been attached to this as well. Supposedly, from what they're saying, is that he's going to be playing a young Morpheus. Now, if that's true, excuse me, that would be nice. Now, that's why I'm kind of iffy about Lawrence Fishburne, because they're feeling like if they're going to bring back, Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss, whatever, why not him? But if we're getting a young Morpheus, I seriously doubt he's going to be coming back. You never know. I don't know if we're going to see a flashback of some sort in that comparison. That's a possibility. I'm just jumping out there. I'm looking forward to seeing anything develop in regards to us knowing more about the overall storyline. That would be nice, but they're keeping that baby under wraps tight. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it gives the level of secrecy gives me a little excitement, intrigued. Now, besides The Matrix 4, the reason why I was having a discussion with someone, because we found out there's some other movie is going to be giving it some competition, and that is John Wick 4. Keanu Reeves is basically prepping for both movies to do. And I'm just like, okay. And the fact that they both have the same, release date, I feel like they're going to eventually change that up, because they don't want these two different film production companies going up against or whatever, because that's money to be lost. Because to be honest with you, John Wick is definitely very well known right now, with, of course, present day with some fans, whichever. Now, anybody who's more old school like me, a little bit more older, can appreciate the Matrix, trilogy before we're now getting Matrix 4. So for me personally, I'm excited for John Wick 4, but I'm more excited for Matrix 4 because I want to see what they're going to do, knowing what happened to Neo and Trinity. They died. I want to know, where's the story going to go. That's why I'm more intrigued with that one more so. But don't get me wrong, I will be watching both Keanu Reeves films. I'm a fan of him since he did The Prince of Pennsylvania, and I really am aging myself bringing up that damn movie, but whatever. So I am down for that. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about seeing this movie. I know the filming definitely, if I'm not mistaken, should be starting probably sometime early next year. I want to say, I don't know if it's, early in the year or maybe spring, summertime, but they're going to be starting the show. Now, the date for this particular movie is May 21st, 2021. So I figure most likely, probably by springtime, they will be starting production. They have not started yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing, I hope some certain things do leak a little bit. I don't need to show the overall understanding of what's happening in the film, but just seeing some of them on the set again will be nice. I really want to see what Naomi, played by Jada, is going to really look like in her character now, because she was such a baddie in the last one. So I'm dying. This has been, since the first movie was made, it's been over 20 years since the first one was made. So, and the last one was made in 2003, so it's been a minute. It's been a minute, and like I said, anybody who's probably under 20, whatever, no, I definitely don't know nothing about that unless they were basically introduced to it and they probably had an appreciation. Technology has changed. That's going to be another situation for us to kind of see what they're going to do with this to make it even more, mind blown, like I was when I saw the first one. I literally was mind blown when I saw the first one in the theater. So I'm totally here for it. I'm hyped. Curious to see, like I said, I'm going to keep my tabs on this particular one to see if Lawrence Fishburne does actually appear in this. Right now, he is not attached to this at all, so we'll have to see if we get any more news. I'm just ready to see when they're going to start production so we can get this baby rolling, because that would be nice if they showcase something next year for Comic-Con for this as well. That's well over close to a year if they do that, so I'll just keep my tabs on, like y'all say, when I know more, you'll know more. So moving from that, now this one, looking forward to hearing about this one. A little bit more information coming out for this one. This has to do with Venom 2. Now, I'm excited for this movie. Of course, I love the first one. It made almost $900 million, about $850, $855, somewhere in that ballpark. Did very well. A lot of people kind of were like hesitant. I did love it. The trailer was, bomb. Just Venom just cutting up, in regards to the character with Eddie Brock. Now I'm excited to see what's going to be the overall way of them doing this particular story. We're hearing they're adding another person. His name is Stephen Graham. I'm familiar with his work. He's actually in the new Netflix movie, The Irishman, by Martin Scorsese. I have yet to see that, and I really need to see that. Do not fault me, whichever. It's a lot of stuff came out during the holidays. I was just watching as much as I could, but I will make that abundantly to see that. Hopefully sometime during New Year's Eve, I might be home, I'll watch it. Now, for him, I'm familiar with him from other movies. He was in the HBO show Boardwalk Empire, a phenomenal show. He also did another movie I wanted to post that I wanted to talk about. He did another TV show I liked, even with Tom Hardy, which was Taboo. So yes, he is very well versed in his craft and he does a phenomenal job. So I'm curious to know what his character's about. Is right now unknown. So don't have anything to go on with that, but that's fine. I'm excited at the simple fact that Andy Serkis is the director. We know that Michelle Williams will be coming back as Anne. Of course, Tom Hardy. We know that Woody Harrelson is definitely coming on board. He's going to be playing, what is it? I want to say Cletus Kasady. I always want to reword the name. Playing AKA Carnage. And then we're hearing his love interest will be played by Naomi Harris as Shriek. So that one I'm really intrigued to see her play that particular character, Shriek. Definitely am all for the movie overall, but I really want to see Naomi Harris in that particular character. So I'm really excited for this. Now I'm hearing other information that's coming out. They're talking about possibly, Tom Holland might be in the sequel. It's still being negotiated. Nothing has been, written in stone. After the whole tidbit, like basically, Sony and Marvel having a little tiff, wanted to break up and then they got back together. And then with the new deal that was made, this deal put it in where it's the good possibility of Tom being attached to this movie. Now, what I want to know is in what capacity. Is he going to just be Peter Parker or will he be Spider-Man? That's what I want to know, because this is what I said. Me and a friend at work were talking, and he reads the comics and all that, and he wasn't none too kind of, vibing with the thought of them doing it because of the way the story has been written, the way it's been told. He doesn't see how they could do it. I was like, I see your point, and he knows a little bit more than I do. Like I said, he does read the comments, and he knows how things, could be, it could have been if they did it a certain way. I feel if they do it, maybe if not the second one, maybe the third one. I want to see what's going to happen with Venom and Carnage to see how they can navigate to bring Peter Parker / Spider-Man into the fold going to the third one. Now, I do know Tom Holland said he would love to be a part of the Venom, movie in some way. So let's hope they can find a way to do that. That is the property of Sony. They're going to try to find a way because, I'm glad he's going to be with MCU. He has a couple other movies wrapped up, and another maybe Avenger movie he's going to be attached to. So at least we know he's going to be around for a while with MCU. But it would be nice to see him, go over to Sony and do the Venom. That would be actually cool to see. So I'm hoping they find a way to work that deal and make that happen. So, and I bet you a lot of people who are fans of both characters, definitely Spider-Man, probably would enjoy that as well if it's done right. So we'll have to see how that pans out. We still do not have an actual date. They're claiming October 2020, possibly, but there's nothing still written in stone, which makes no sense to me. They started filming in November, so I don't understand why we don't know when the movie's going to be coming out. I mean, there's other movies that are not even started yet and they already have dates, and I don't understand how they don't have a date for that, but whatever. I know another Sony movie is coming out, and I'm dying with bated breath for a trailer to come out soon. I pray soon, and that has to do with Morbius. So I'm really ready to see a trailer for that. They wrapped that baby up in May. So, I hope by maybe February we'll get something March. And then into the summer, going before the summer, we'll get the official trailer probably, maybe, April, May. So I'm thinking in a couple of months we'll be getting something from Morbius, because I'm just so ready for that freaking movie. But yes, I just had to throw a shout out to that one, because if anyone follows me on movie news, know I talked about that literally a lot, because I'm totally here for. I love vampire movies, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how this one's going to turn out for that one. But yes, let's just move this baby along. I'm happy Venom is actually in the works, so let me not rant too much on that. So, but when I hear about the actual release date, I'll go ahead and note that, and you all will know about that when I know. So moving from that. Now, for me, also, I want to discuss DC's Batman. I'm excited for that one. We already know they are definitely getting ready to really start production if they have not started yet. I think it's supposed to be going to January, February, so we should be getting ready to truly get into the mix of them doing production. I know, as Robert Pattinson said, he has already tried on the suit. He's trying to get the type of voice he wants down pat. We have some casting already noted. I'm happy knowing Paul Dano's going to play the Riddler. I'm still not sure how I feel about Colin Farrell being considered playing for Penguin. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm sorry. I'm still kind of biased on that one. I'm so happy that Zoe Kravitz will be playing Selena Kyle, a.k.a. Catwoman. And then, of course, Commissioner Gordon, who will be played by Jeffrey Wright. Now, we're hearing that another name is circulating now, and that's Peter, I want to say, Sarsgaard. I hope I'm saying his name correct. My apologies if I'm not. I'm a fan of some of his work. He's in many movies that I loved back in the day. He is being eyed for a role. They're claiming is kind of unknown, but what's circulating is a possibility he could probably be doing the character Two-Face. Now that would be nice. I would love that, aka Harvey Dent. That would be wonderful. I love that character. I loved it in The Dark Knight. So we'll have to see if that is the case. I'm keeping tabs because it just seems like Matt Reeves is slowly, truly building his cast, you know, for all these different characters, and he's making it very interesting, and it's getting a lot of individuals, you know, really intrigued and hyped with the movie. Can't speak for everybody else, but I think consistency is a lot of people are feeling this now. This casting is coming together and it's looking real nice. I'm here for it. Also ready just to see, you know, just understanding overall story. Like I said, I've heard, you know, here and there, you know, it's going to be, of course, you know, him in his, you know, mid-30s, you know, kind of more on the detective side as opposed to more on the Batman side, but we're still going to see him in the suit, clearly, if Robert Pattinson knows what his, you know, has tried on his suit, so I'm happy about that. Also seeing if they're going to tweak the logo. I'm using a particular logo, but hopefully it'll probably be similar to the one that I showcase up here. Just want to see what Zoe Kravitz is going to look like as Catwoman. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her overall look. Definitely want to see the chemistry between her and Bruce. Just, you know, of course, Andy Serkis is going to be playing Alfred. I'm hyped for that. On top of him directing Venom, he's doing that too. It's just like, it's just overload, and I'm here for it. Now, I'm going to keep my eyes open to see if we do hear any news, if it actually ends up being Two-Faced. It has not been confirmed, so I'm kind of a little, you know, sad it's not true for sure. Same thing with Colin Farrell playing the Penguin. Still not confirmed fully, but it's in right now. As of right now, it's looking like he is. You know, oh, I really wish Josh Gad would do it. I'm sorry. I'm still going to feel like that. I just can't help it. But it is what it is. You know, he's, you know, got some other things he's working on, which I'll be discussing shortly. But yes, I'm here for the movie. I'm excited. I'm just looking forward to them saying they've started production, so we know we have something to look forward to, which I'm excited about overall, with DC just kind of doing their own thing with the standalone. So I'm just hyped for that. So that's all I want to kind of bring up in regards to the Batman, and I'm looking forward to seeing Peter do his thing. Now, speaking of more DC, I got a couple of release dates we have some information for, because at first I wasn't sure if we were going to be hearing anything about these particular movies, but I'm actually glad. Now, this has to do with Shazam, and I'm happy we're going to get a second one. A lot's been going on in regards to both Shazam actually and The Flash. I'm going to kind of talk about them combined. Happy that it is, because I enjoyed the first one. I saw the trailer. A lot of people kind of wanted to downplay it a little bit because of the way Zachary looked. You know, he looked a little too buff at the time, but then they did another trailer. He looked a little bit more better. He wasn't too bulked up, like as if he was doing freaking some sort of steroids or whatever. And he just, when I went to the movie theaters, I enjoyed him immensely. I'm a fan of Zachary Levi. He's hilarious. And he definitely was meant to play this particular character. I'm definitely looking forward to them, you know, moving his story along as Shazam and seeing what else is going to happen with him and his family, and of course them, you know, having their powers now and seeing all those characters come back as well. So the date we have for this one, it's now going to be around April of 2022. That is far away. Yes, it is. And I'll get into, you know, what's really going on with that. Now, when I talk about The Flash as well, of course, that's at the helm with Ezra Miller playing the character Barry Allen. I'm happy for this one because we do have a date for this one as well. And that one now will be July of 2022. Now, the reason I'm saying it and combine them both is that I'm excited because now we kind of see what DCEU is trying to do. They have a full, I want to say, plotting of all these different type of movies they want to come out with in the next couple of years. So basically 2020 is, we have Birds of Prey, and then we have Wonder Woman. Then we go into 2021. We have, what's the movies? We have the Batman, Suicide Squad, and we have Black Adam. Now, I talked about Black Adam briefly on my last movie news. I'm actually happy about that. We know Dwayne Johnson is attached to that one. And we were wondering, well, me, more so me, I know some other people, can't speak for anyone else, how they were going to parlay into that, because I know he wanted to be attached to that, but he's been working on these other movies, as you all know. Jumanji, got the Jungle Cruise coming out, you know, finished up the last season, you know, of Ballers, whichever. We were like, what other movies you're working on? And so now we know where that falls into line with that, and I know they'll be starting production on that, you know, very soon. That comes out, so I think sometime early next year, spring, whatever, they're supposed to be starting on that movie. Now, also for 2022, like I stated, we're going to have Shazam, The Flash, and of course you already know in December is going to be Aquaman 2. So that looks like the setup, whatever. They have quite a few movies coming out, throughout. And I love that 2021 and 2022 has 3 separate DCEU movies. That looks great. Now, granted, some people are like, oh, they're not going to beat MCU. It's not about them beating MCU and what they're doing. That works good for MCU and their timetable, but I like that DCEU is trying to find their overall footing, just to be consistent with what they're putting out and making sure when they're putting it out, it's good quality they're putting out with the proper script and a great director and a great cast, because I don't want them just putting stuff out because they want to keep up with the Joneses. They're doing what's working for them, and I'm actually happy because it looks like the flow is going to be working in their best interest, and that's a good thing, and it's a great thing. I like both. I like it, MCU, and I like DCEU. They're doing their own thing. They have their separate types, and it's all good, whatever, and all that. There's not need for one particular one to have, get all, the excitement and fun of being able to put out good, good work, whichever, while others, no. I want to see everyone win. That's how I feel. So I'm excited for both. It's going to be great. I'm happy also for The Flash for the simple fact that the director who's attached, it is Andy Muschietti. And of course, you all should know he was attached to, It Chapters 1 and in Chapter 2, which just came out, what was it? It was September. Did very well. I enjoyed that. So I'm happy to see him, parlaying something different besides the horror. And I feel very comfortable that he will do his thing on this movie. This movie has been literally in limbo for the last couple of years, really ever since they did the Justice League, trying to figure out where it was going to fit. Once they were doing, of course, you see the movies, Wonder Woman and then Aquaman, whatever. It's almost like it got pushed to the side. Now, also, the other part that came into effect is that Ezra's schedule, because he's going to be doing the Fantastic Beasts #3. So they had to make sure there was no scheduling conflict for him to be able to do that movie and, of course, be able to come in here and do the filming. He wants to be a part. I told you all a while back that he had wrote a script, whatever, and he was trying to showcase this, whatever, to see if he can get them to be interested in his script, whatever. Doesn't matter, whatever. Somebody else will be writing script, and someone else will be actually definitely directing it. And now I feel like a little bit more confidence, but like I said, hopefully this date sticks and they will not touch it, and this is it. Since Muschietti is definitely attached to it, I feel that we're going to move this baby along, and I'll just be glad to see Ezra Miller doing his thing. I want to see who else will be cast, and let's just see if we can get that origin story and a little bit of something that can be considered, present day, in regards to the storyline, to see if it's a possibility of them doing a second one. That's just my take on that. So for them, that movie comes out July the 1st, 2022. So I'm looking forward to that one. So we have a ways away for that, but it's all good. We have so much stuff going on right now that it doesn't bother me if I have to wait a little longer for that one. But like I said, that gives it time to get that script correct and make sure Andy does his thing in regards to directing, so he can bring it to life. Ezra's character, honestly, in The Flash, in the movie at times was very funny to me. He has a very vibrant personality to me, so I can foresee it. I will say this, please get his speed down right, because that was an issue I had. Me and somebody were talking about, and they just could not stand the way his run was. It was horrible. It was just horrible, because at first I was in the theater like, what the hell is really going on? I'm like, what am I watching? So I pray it's nothing like how it was last time. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to ever see that again. I'm almost traumatized just thinking about it. So moving on from that. Now, another DC movie I want to talk about real quickly is Suicide Squad, and for the fact that I want to discuss one of the characters. Now, this has to do with Idris Elba's character. For the longest time, I talked about it possibly being Bronze Tiger. Now, we didn't know anything, and for the longest, they just, some people were just putting out there, still not sure, where they're claiming that it's possibly could be the character titled Vigilante. Now, I'm just glad we know exactly who we'd be playing. They're still saying that it could be either or, but I'm hearing more information about it being Vigilante, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, his character in the comics is supposedly is an attorney. So when you think about the title of his actual, character, Vigilante, it makes me think of, and I heard somebody else say the same thing, Daredevil. So I'm kind of inclined, I'm actually excited at the, potential of that being his actual character in the movie. We already know Will Smith will not be back as Deadshot, whatever, schedule conflicts, whatever. Brother's doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Bad Boys for Life 3, here for that. We're going to get Viola Davis back. We're going to get Joel Kinnaman, Margot Robbie, and Jay Courtney, of course, the original cast coming back. We're getting some new faces. We're going to be getting John Cena and Steve Aggie, excuse me. They're going to be playing with the characters Peacemaker and King Shark, and then two other ones, and let me get his name correctly, and apologies if I say it wrong, David Dashmalchian. He's going to be playing Polka Dot Man, and Daniela Melchior will be playing Ratcatcher. So I'm happy we're getting some new characters, and of course a couple of the old characters. I love that. It makes it more exciting to see them coming back to see what they have been doing. And then being introduced to some new ones. I'm excited about that. I think also Pete Davidson is in this as well. I'm not sure who his character is as also. I think there's some posts of some pictures of them, showing them on set, whatever. Not some of them are not as clear as seeing, what they're wearing and all for me to pinpoint who is who. But hopefully soon we'll start seeing a little bit more. I'm just happy that this movie is kind of definitely moving on. We're getting the pace. Got a little minute on that one, but it's all good. I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad, because it's not going to be considered Suicide Squad 2. They said it's titled The Suicide Squad. So I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing the action again. I enjoyed the first one. I know some people didn't know how to take it. I did. I enjoyed it. It did very well at the box office. So I feel like, with this particular casting, we will be fine with what they're going to put out for the end result. And I'm not worried about it. Plus, with Margot Robbie doing her thing as Harley Quinn, she has her own movie, Birds of Prey, coming out. I'm looking forward to that movie. So, yes, it just seems like, that movie and then kind of going to the Suicide Squad to kind of the flow of the characters and seeing. Hopefully it might give us a little bit of something kind of similar to how Marvel does, where at the ending credits to see kind of a flow of her character going into the next, of course, movie, The Suicide Squad. So I'm looking forward to that. So with that said, you guys, moving on. Now, this is one of those horrors I do love. I love the franchise. This has to do with The Conjuring 3. Now, I'm already looking forward to seeing Ed and Lorraine come back. That's, of course, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. Fan of both work. Curious about this one because at first we didn't have a full actual title, and now we do have an actual title. So let me read it off to you. It's going to be called The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Very interesting. They said they're going to try to stay away from doing the haunted house thing, kind of similarities from the last two. And this one will be all encompassed around a murder trial. So let me read the synopsis that we have here. It reveals a chilling story of terror, murder, and unknown evil that shocked even experienced real-life paranormal, investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. It says one of the most sensational cases from their files. It starts with a fight for the soul of a young boy, then takes them beyond anything they'd ever seen before to mark the first time in U.S. history that a murder suspect would claim demonic possession as a defense. I'm looking forward to seeing this one. I've seen enough movies where there's always some sort of demonic possession. And I want to see how they're going to showcase, of course, backstory in regards to the trial, the certain scenes of them discussing within the trial about this particular individual, doing these heinous, acts. That will be interesting to see. Definitely going to get a suspense thriller vibe. I don't know if I'm going to say horror, but definitely suspense and definitely a thriller aspect of that for this one. And like I said, I love the franchise. I love the first two. I love the second one more than the first one as much, but I did enjoy both. Of course, we got the Annabelle spinoff. I liked Annabelle Creation out of those Annabelle movies the most. The first one I did not really like. It was just not doing anything for me. The doll's creepy, but it was just nothing there. But that creation, Annabelle Creation, it lived up to it. The third one, not so much. I didn't somewhat enjoy The Nun because it kind of goes in order like a prequel, so it gives you an understanding of some of the things that happen in those other movies. And then, of course, The Curse of La Llorona. Now, the person that's going to be directing that, which is the one who did The Curse of La Llorona, Michael Chavez, he will be at the helm to direct this particular one of the franchise. So I'm looking forward to seeing him do his thing. That's going to be really good. I'm excited for that. I'm just looking forward to it. Now, this one, it comes out September 11th, 2020, so we don't have much longer. That means that they most likely have started filming or going to be starting filming early this year. I want to think they've already started. I have not heard really anything about this, so I'm thinking they have already started. So I'm just going to kind of go along with that. We're just going to play along with that. But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing the first trailer for this one. I'm excited because the last couple of trailers that we've gotten from all of them always does the job. It gets me all hyped. You get occasional jump scare, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just how they go. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm here for it. It is what it is. As long as most of that movie gives me that creepy factor, then it's done its job. So, like I said, I look forward to seeing the first trailer. I will definitely be there day one to see this one, and I figure that will probably be the conclusion of The Conjuring part of that franchise, unless they're going to probably into anything else. Curious to see if they end up doing another one, if Patrick and Vera come back. they actually enjoy doing them. That's why they do come back, and they probably do love working, on these particular films, so we'll have to see. I'm here for it. So with that said, you guys, I just want to kind of jump on that one really quickly. This one I'm looking forward to. I'm excited for this one, and this has to do with The Invisible Woman. This will be actually directed and starring Elizabeth Banks. Now, if you all remember, I did a trailer about almost a month ago for The Invisible Man. It's coming out starring Elizabeth Moss. That trailer, it was everything and then some. I'm looking forward to seeing that. It comes out in February. They did a phenomenal job with that trailer. The suspense thriller is just on a whole nother level. It's directed by Leigh Whannell. I'm looking forward to him because, of course, he's been attached to, Insidious movies, Saw. So I feel like he's going to get me my suspense thriller, and it looked so freaking good. Aldous Hodges in this one as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing, their take on The Invisible Man. This is totally different from the original one based off of the novel. If you all remember, the guy, of course, makes himself invisible, and what that becomes mad. Now with The Invisible Woman, this is based off of the 1940s movie about a model who basically decides to be a test subject, becomes invisible due to being a test subject. And I'm curious to see how they're going to do this. Now, the script writer on this one, I want to know her name. His name is Aaron Cressida. She actually wrote A Girl on a Train. I actually enjoyed that. That was a good movie. So that gives me a little hope that the story will be sufficient. A little bit of similarities to the original, but a little bit different. They're claiming that this movie, from what I'm hearing, they're giving it kind of like a comparison between, and it was kind of like, okay, Thelma and Louise and American Psycho. So I was like, okay, in the premise of Thelma and Louise, like, on the run, but invisible with her and all that. But then, American Psycho, out doing, murders. I'm trying to figure out in what consists from Thelma and Louise. I can see what American Psycho, fine, but the Thelma and Louise, I'm trying to figure out in what aspect of that. It's like, on the run, what. So that's going to be interesting. I want to see if she is going to be a different type of career, because in this one, original one, it was a model. She was. What is she going to be doing? What is her, her area, where she ends up going somewhere and being tested on and ends up becoming invisible. But I'm excited for this. Now, I will say with Elizabeth Banks, I am a fan of her work. She has been in quite a few movies that I love. She was, of course, in 40-Year-Old Virgin. She did Brightburn. She was in a movie called Swept Away I Love. That was the first movie that actually introduced me to her, because I didn't know who she was. Then, of course, she directed Pitch Perfect 2. So, definitely good behind, the camera. She did direct the recent reboot of Charlie's Angels. I will say that didn't do as well as she would have liked. A couple of choice, statements she made, whichever, I don't particularly agree with them. Let me just put it like this. And this coming, as some people want to say, because she tried to make it, in regards to the gender aspect. And I'm like, no, we're not going to go there. I'm going to put it like this, and as a female, there was really no reason for them to make that movie. Honestly, when I saw the trailer, it really did nothing for me. I will say this, looking at the three girls that they chose to be the Charlie's Angels, I didn't see really the chemistry between the three of them. It wasn't doing anything for me. You can see the chemistry when you watch the old ones with Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu. I can really get that. And then a little comedic timing, of course, on top of the action and the drama. This one, not so much. Sometimes I feel like it was being forced, and I was not really excited or hyped to go to the movie to see it. I'm just being honest. I wasn't here for it. Now, I'm sad that it didn't make much as money, but let me say, again, the first thing I said, were we all really looking forward to seeing this movie? It was not on our radar. Oh, a new Charlie's Angels movie. I'm still happy with the old ones. I'm sorry. Some things, like I said, do not need to be rebooted, remade. And I'm going to stick to that saying. Some things. That was one of them. So, needless to say, I'm looking forward to her doing actually this one. She definitely does drama very well. She's in some other movies. This one movie she did that I really enjoyed. She did... oh gosh, I can't remember the actor's name who played her husband. I might post the poster up here or whichever. But other than that, she is a very good actress, and she definitely seems to be really good behind the camera as well. So I'm loving that she's doing some more directing as well, and I'm looking forward to this. And the fact that she's going to be directing and acting in it, that's going to be, good. I'm going to tell you like this, it better be good, because she left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths of her comments about the Charlie's Angels when it didn't do very well. So, some people are going to kind of side-eye, but it is what it is. So if the trailer comes out and it's good, whatever, and all that, and I go see the movie, I'll give her all the kudos she wants, whatever. I just hope it is good, because, yeah, I know that's going to be an issue. People like, well, she's recently said this is the... Trust and believe me, people never forget. And I know I'm one of those, and I will make sure to be known to bring that up. So, but with that said, when I know the date of when this is going to be released and also who else is going to be cast, I will most definitely let you all know. So, moving on from that one. Now, this has to do with movie reboots. Two in particular I'm going to discuss. The first one has to do with one that I grew up in the 80s watching. This came out in 1989, and it was one of my favorites to watch, whichever was, I was a teen. And this has to do with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Now, I was just like, okay, are we getting a reboot? I feel like it is, but in some ways they're claiming, it could be a sequel, of sorts to it. And I think it's considered more of a sequel. Now, when I say that is because at the helm, if you all remember the original one, Joe Johnston actually did the first one. He's actually did a couple other movies I love. He did October Sky. He did one of my favorites, The Wolf Man. He also did Captain America, The First Avenger. So he is definitely a director I enjoy. Now, the actor who's going to be at the lead of this is Josh Gad. Now, if you remember the first one, Rick Moranis, whatever, he was, the belligerent, scientist, and basically ends up, zapping his kids and the two neighbors' sons, his neighbors' two sons, and they're basically trying to find a way to get back to the house. They're outside when it gets zapped, and they have to cut through the lawn and deal with the bees, the ants, the lawnmower, you name it. They were dealing with it. And it was a nice little, journey of seeing what they're going through, having to deal with the antics, the girl not getting along with the older brother of the two boys, and, having their little moments, whichever. I love the scenes with the ant, where the ant is helpful to them. Then you have this little small scorpion that wants to, burn it. Just hysteria. And then seeing Rick Moranis' character try to realize what he's done, the wife, and then having to let the neighbors know, yeah, your boys got shrunk, and they're like, fix it, whatever. Just the funniness of it all. So basically what they're saying with the sequel, it's going to be from the son's point of view, Rick Moranis' son in the character. And let me get his name right, because I could not remember the boy's name in the actual month. He plays Nick, if you all remember from the first one. Of course, a little geeky little boy with the glasses in the actual movie. He's now older now, scientist himself, and he inadvertently buzzes and shrinks his own kids. So I'm like, I see how they want to do it. They want to keep the name, and not, do anything repetitive. So if you want to use an example, like when they decided to do a reboot or reimaging of Jumanji, they didn't want to change the name so much, but that's why they left Jumanji in there, and it's like, Jumanji the next level, or Jumanji, this or that and other, with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart at the helm. So I like that you're going to keep it like that. It's been 30 years. This movie won't be coming out, if I'm not mistaken. They don't have a date for this yet. But the fact that movie came out in 1989, it's been about 30 years. It'll probably be a year and a half from now, maybe we'll be seeing it. So 2 years off. So basically 32 years. Now we're going to be getting was considered the sequel to it, not even a reboot, like I said. So I'm kind of down to see what they're going to do with this, and the fact that it's going to be his now older son. So that's going to make it more exciting to actually enjoy. I'm looking forward to seeing who his character's wife's going to be and who the little kids will be. If you're going to probably have one boy, girl, and it's going to probably be, who knows, just the kids. Will he have 3 kids? Where is it going to change up a little bit in regards to the actual movie? And I figured if they do that, we might get a sequel. I don't know if you remember, we had Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, and then of course they had a straight to DVD type of, movie, whichever. I didn't mind the second one. After that, I was like, I was done. It is what it is. So, but yes, I'm excited to see this one. I want to see the trailer, kind of get the vibe. I am a fan of Josh Gad. Like I said, I really want him to be the Penguin. I really do. But I want to see, him do his thing. He is a great actor. He is hysterical. So I'm totally down to see how he's going to just bring this to life again. And all of us, who were nostalgic for the original one, I know they want to bring a whole new set of character, people to enjoy. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's like, don't forget us, even though I'm much older and you don't think I remember. I do remember it full-heartedly, and I enjoyed it back then, and I will enjoy it now. So, but it'll be more definitely for the kids to watch, whichever. That's mostly for nostalgia for me. So, now this is the final last thing I'm going to discuss, and this being still in regards to reboot. This one truly is a reboot, and this has to do with Firestarter. I talked about this a while back, how I'd heard little whispers that they were going to do this, and I wasn't sure how I felt, because I love the original, which starred Drew Barrymore and Keith David, and I'm just like, and I want to say Heather Locklear as well. And we had a young, is it Martin Sheen? Martin Sheen, excuse me. Yes, I don't know how I feel I will say this, I'm kind of intrigued a little bit, and let me kind of tell you why. Granted, they're going to be doing this one. I'm excited for the simple fact of this one. Knowing that Drew Barrymore will be executive producing it. So that gives me a little excitement for it, because she'll make sure, they tweak or whatever, and I'm actually happy she is attached in that capacity behind the camera. Now, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing who will be cast. That is definitely important. Now, the actual director for this that they finally have, because this thing is going every which way it can with different directors. His name is Keith Thomas. Now, with him, definitely doesn't have a lot under his belt, but he did do a supernatural horror film titled The Vigil. And let's just say that Blumhouse took a liking to it. They licensed to get it, and with that said, they decided they wanted him to be at the helm to actually do the actual movie. Now, in regards to writing, I'm excited because the person that's writing, his name is Scott Teems. He's actually doing the scripts for the 2 Halloween sequels. So right there is all I needed. I was like, okay, well, there you go. I'm down for that. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the table. Since we have our director, we have our writer, and now we just need to figure out who is going to be leading the helm of that as well. Now, that was one of those movies I grew up with. It came out in, I want to say, 83, 84. And I just enjoyed it. Of course, 2 parents, who were, test subjects or whatever and all that. They have a child who actually has pyrokinetic abilities. And let's just say that the government takes a kind of a little shining to Charlie. And they have this one particular person who befriends her, and I forgot the man's name. I want to say his name was John, because I had to write his name down because my mind went blank. And that's the guy who plays the character John. He's a very well-known actor. I cannot remember his name. My mind went blown. And he basically tries to get her to do all these little different things for these little test subjects they wanted to see, to show her potential for, what she could truly do. And then eventually, if you haven't seen the film, Keith David, her father, whatever, he's being drugged, held against his will to stay away from her dad, his daughter. But then they're forcing her to do this for her to see her dad. And then eventually he gets the one up on, Martin Sheen's character to get to his daughter. And then she finds out when she sees the guy who basically did what he did to her father and knows it's the man that she thought was a friend. It's not her friend. And that's when all hell breaks loose. And she's just setting out all these little, fire, balls, whichever. Let's just say that at the time, to me, I loved the special effects that they did back then. I know some people didn't particularly care for it. I know Stephen King wasn't sure how he felt. But let's just say that if he is loving the resurgence that he's getting with some of his novels that are turning, or TV movies that are being put into movies that are doing very well, I think he's liking what he's seen. He definitely was happy with It 1 and 2. He loves how Dr. Sleep turned out in The Tall Grass. Definitely. There's quite a couple other ones we'll have to see. I know The Stand's being worked on now. So yeah, it's a couple other things. And then with this one being now at the helm as well, it just seems like a lot of people love some Stephen King. I have, for a long time. I'm here for it. So I'm looking forward, like I said, to seeing exactly how, this is going to turn out. Again, casting. Once I see the character, I just want to kind of see who's going to be playing the parents and the girl, and then I kind of get into a vibe. And I'm going to tell you one thing, that trailer better be on a whole nother level, because that's going to be the only thing that's going to really cement it for me, to see if this is the potential to be good. And if they do it, they might end up doing another one. Maybe showing the girl a couple of years later after she's a little bit older, maybe a teen going through life, whatever. They could do possibly 3 of these if they space them out every couple of years, whichever. That would be nice, instead of just trying to hurry and bang out another one a year later. Make some time go by where she's gotten a little bit older, and then it shows her, maybe in the 3rd installment, married, has kid, and she might have given her powers to her child, whatever, and trying to get away. I'm just putting out some things as an idea. That's just my thoughts on that. That would be nice. Hey, it is what it is. But yes, again, I will keep my tabs on this and post it when we have an actual, cast, when they have an actual date. And with that said, you guys, that is it. I wanted to jump on and do a quick little movie review. Like I state always, just post how you all feel in the comment section. I love to chat with you all, how you feel. Secondly, in regards to movie stuff, I'm going to be posting up probably right around New Year's Day my top 10 films of 2019. Probably a couple of notable mentions in the mix of that. I'm going to try to get that up. So that'll be my next order of business. And then probably in the next week or 2, I'll be doing my most anticipated for 2020. So be on the lookout for those. So with that said, you guys, I hope you enjoy my movie news. I will see you guys on the next one. You guys take care.